Okay, everybody. I am Hoarder Gamer, in case you didn't know that, and this is Comicus. Okay, and this week we have 4 books, so let me show you what they are in no particular order. Scales and Scoundrels, issue 1. Again, I usually have a table, and I do this a lot more elegantly, but that's not an option today, unfortunately, because of the camera. Venom Verse, issue 1. For all my Star Wars fans out there, Captain Phasma, issue 1. And there's the issue 2 book I mentioned, Heavenly Blues, issue 2. Okay. So it's really weird not having a camera. I'm like on the fly trying to be like, okay, I don't have to worry about having a certain positioning or anything from the books. So we're going to go through. We'll basically do a review for each of the books and all 4 of them. And then it's like a battle between, the book that wins, gets to keep its bag and board, and the books that are stripped of their bag and board. So let us start with Venom Verse 1. Okay. This is going to be weird. I guess we're going to have to do it like this. This is so bizarre for me. Okay, so Venom Verse 1 is basically the story of a young Venom in a world full of Venoms. And these Venoms, in this alternate world of these different superheroes that have Venom, the symbiote, as part of them, is filled with creatures called poisons. And poisons are trying to basically glom on to the superheroes that are attached to Venom to create a new, more dangerous creature. And they're like these parasites, kind of like Venom is, except it's not a symbiotic relationship. It's a truly parasitic relationship. And Venom's kind of all freaked out about it. There's an awesome moment in the book where you find out that one of these poisons has infected the Hulk. So they're attacked by this bizarre looking like bone armored Hulk. It looks very weird. It's really crazy looking. And you find out that Doctor Strange, because he's used to all this crazy cosmic stuff, he actually got all these Venoms together to fight the poisons. It's pretty cool. It's issue 1. I'm interested very much in seeing where it goes. The artwork is pretty darn solid. There's a rocket raccoon that has the Venom symbiote, which is really funny. Wolverine with the Venom symbiote is good. I'm trying to think specifically. The first person he meets with the Venom symbiote is Captain America, and that part's wild because without even thinking twice about it, Captain America kills this young kid that's asking for help from Venom. And Venom doesn't know at the point, and neither does the audience, that that's one of the poisons. That's how they disguise themselves. So it was a pretty crazy moment where you're like, okay, that's like something Hydra Captain America would do, but I don't even know if he would go so far as just to kill a kid in cold blood. So yeah, it was pretty wild. That's Venom Verse 1. Next up we have Scales and Scoundrels, issue 1. Venom Verse 1, I apologize. That's Marvel Comics. I figured a lot of people would know that. This is from Image, actually. This is issue 1. And this character right here, she's a scoundrel. Also, in some way, a dragon. A creature called an Urdin. They haven't fully explained what an Urdin is, but the people have called her that. So she's basically trying to fleece and bilk people out of money in a game of cards at a bar, and they get upset saying that she's a cheat, and they basically want to fight her. Well, what she does is this crazy acrobatic stuff around the whole room that like no normal human could do, and they're all freaked out by it. And then there's a huge burst of flame, and you find out that her eyes turn into those of like a dragon's, and she's like human dragon. And what happens in this book is she goes and she teams up with a group of people, as also this evil guy is trying to hunt her. We don't know all the details yet. It's been good. I like it. I'll look at issue 2. I'll definitely pick that up. I don't feel I'm in the long run with this book yet, but I did like it. I'm trying to think what else stands out. The artwork is really unique. It's really funny to me, though, because the way they depicted her as a girl, I didn't get that until they actually said it. Because here, you can actually kind of tell more on the cover, but in the book, it looks more like it's armor she's wearing, and it's not form-fitting, really. So it was hard for me to tell, based on everything, how they did the face and hair and everything, compared to other characters, that it was indeed a girl. But yeah, I thought it was pretty darn good, and I'm interested to see where it goes. And one of the interesting things she said is she was talking about having her own horde and having, like, you know, sitting on a pile of gold and everything, like an actual dragon, which I thought was interesting because, you know, as far as we know, she's a human dragon hybrid, I guess. So yeah, Scales and Scoundrels, issue 1. And I apologize if this is terrible, because we usually have, you know, another camera. It's a little more fun, I think. Star Wars fans, we have Star Wars Captain Phasma, issue 1. Okay, so if you liked Star Wars The Force Awakens, and I think a lot of people did, I know I did, you probably were like, well, Captain Phasma looks awesome, that's a great outfit, how cool. And then she ends up in a trash compactor. You know, kind of a lame thing to do with a character that looks so awesome. It's kind of similar to what happened with Darth Maul in The Phantom Menace. To me, it was one of the few missteps in Force Awakens. It was also like a weird comical moment. So you took this character, which I thought was going to be really interesting, played by Gwendolyn Christie, and made her kind of the butt of a joke. Well, this was actually a good issue. So we have some, you know, some goodwill coming back towards her as a character. She's basically trying to tie up loose ends, because it was her code that was used to take the shields down of the Starkiller base, which was bad for them. If you saw the movie, that was really bad. Anyway, she goes and she finds out that someone else got the information that she did that her code was used. That person's name is Lieutenant Sol Rivas. So she documents it and has like an ongoing war journal that she's doing about this person, Sol Rivas, and basically she goes on a quest to hunt him down and basically kill him, or, you know, make him confess to something he didn't do to take the heat off her. Which, with what happened to her, makes complete sense to me, and I'm interested to see where it goes. Also, I really like the artwork. I like the use of colors in it. Phasma looks awesome, the way they depicted her armor and everything like that. It's good. I thought it was a good book, and I'm interested in issue 2 to see where that goes. Again, for me to jump in and say I'm in the long run, I can't say that at this point, but it's good, and I liked it. Finally, we have Heavenly Blues issue 2. Now, the thing about this book is kind of interesting. It was supposed to come out, as far as I knew, based on Diamond Comics, last week. But, like, no one got it. Like, no one. And if you went online, it said, coming out this week. So I went to the shop. They had a copy for me, because I did put my name down for it, because I was looking forward to issue 1. I couldn't get it. And I was like, damned if I can't get issue 2. So luckily, they had the copy for me. So it's right here. This is a damn good book. Basically, it takes place in hell, and you have a young woman who was killed during the Salem witch trials. And in issue 2, it seems like more like she's like a huckster, not an actual witch, as far as I can tell. Issue 1 might change my mind on that. I have to read that. Haven't read it yet. I will, though. And so she basically goes and she decides that she's going to commit a heist with someone she met in hell. and they're going to go and rip off one of the archangels. So they go and they find this a gunslinger guy, and they team up with him and I believe a former slave, an Egyptian former slave, to go and rip off an archangel in heaven. It's awesome. It's very well written. It's funny. This character right here is great. It's really good. Like, no joke. For this one, I am in on the long run of it. I want to see where it goes. You know, I at least want to see the next 3-4 issues of it. It's really good. The big crime, though, is you'll notice it's Scout Comics. It's a very small company, and not enough people know about this book. So issues sell out, like, right away. So I highly recommend checking this out if you can. You might have to even pre-order it, which might seem crazy to you if you're used to just walking into a comic shop and getting a book. But this is going to be hard to get, at least for the time being. As far as I know, there may not even be a reprint of issue 1. I don't know. There might have been some that were allocated. I was able to hunt a copy of issue 1, and I don't think it's a reprint. I'll let you guys know. But I'm looking forward to reading it. And yeah, that's Heavenly Blues too. Okay, everybody, that is all 4 books of the Comicus for this week. So now we're actually going to look and see which book gets to keep its bag and board, and which, we'll just say, don't. Okay. First up, we have Star Wars Captain Phasma. Again, really good artwork. I like the concept of her trying to save face by basically taking someone that's innocent of her crime, even though it was coerced. It was a coerced crime. And so she's going to go to the lengths of having that person basically hunted down and killed, so she doesn't get in trouble with Hux or Snoke. Yeah, I think it's cool. I'm interested to see where it goes, especially at least issue 2. I'll look at issue 2 next month. Not sure if we'll review it for Comicus. Kind of depends on the books that come out. I try not to constantly review the same book. I try to cycle through different ones, so just so you know. But yeah, I liked it. However, Star Wars Captain Phasma issue 1. You were a good read. You looked quite pretty in book form. But this week, some stiff competition. So I strip you of your bag and board, and I toss you back into the trash compactor you escaped from. Okay. Next up, we have Scales and Scoundrels, issue 1. Again, I liked it. I liked the character and the ideas behind it. There wasn't anything that just totally stood out for me. It's except the character being half human, half dragon. Everything else seemed to me kind of like a normal medieval type comedy type thing you would do. What I did like is they gave a lot of time to one of the patrons of the bar and how truly upset he was that the bar was gone. Like, it actually seemed like he was going to write a song or something. It was pretty amusing. But this is not solid gold this week. So, Scales and Scoundrels, issue 1. I strip you of your bag and board, and I toss you onto a pile of fool's gold. Not actual gold. If I tossed it onto a pile of gold, that would be no punishment at all. So why would I do that? Okay. Next up we have Venom Verse, issue 1. Pretty damn good artwork. Cullen Bunn, I like him as a writer. I think he's solid. And it was fun seeing Venom in this world of Venoms, not knowing what the hell is going on, and the audience is in the same place as he is, learning at the same time about the poisons and how dangerous they are. I don't know if this is a 6-issue series, a 12-issue series. I do want to check that out. I don't know. I'm at least definitely going to check out issue 2 and probably 3, but we'll see. What I think of it fully. But Venom Verse issue 1. I strip you of your bag and board, and it is just a bag. It's not like, the symbiote trying to disguise itself or anything. It's just a bag. That's all it is. And I take you and I toss you into the land of many venoms? The place doesn't have a name yet, really. Okay. And finally, that means that the winner of Comicus is Heavenly Blues issue 2. This is a great character right here. Okay? It's amusing. It's actually funny. And it's an interesting idea. Heist comics have been real popular recently. One of the best ones I've read is Rocket. Marvel's comic books, Rocket Raccoon has a book just called Rocket, and it's really well done. It's like hard-boiled 1930s gangsters, but either in current time or in outer space, depending on where the locale is for the issue. It's been really good, and that's written in a mix between comic book and prose. It's really interesting to read an issue of that. So this whole thing has been big, but this just has this uniqueness. She is a firebrand. She's very interesting. She's very funny. And she's basically just tired of this shit. And she's upset that she's in hell. She doesn't fully understand why. And there's this one person that she judges. And they're like, this is a non-judgmental zone. They're like in this weird like almost like a church basement looking place where they have like a meeting type of thing, and they're like non-judgmental zone. And she's like, you know what, the baby stabber, I'm gonna judge him. And her whole attitude is amusing and funny like that all throughout. I'm definitely looking forward to issue 1 once I hopefully get a copy of it. It's a really good book, and what that means is that Heavenly Blues issue 2, the winner of Comicus, it ascends up into the very heavens. As I center it for the camera, it ascends all the way up, until it becomes a star. It's so beautiful. I mean, it's, it's hell, but it's more colorful than I expected. More bright colors. Such a beautiful star. The morning star. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. You have been awesome. I apologize for all the technical issues. I usually don't have as many. Aside from me, myself. I'm probably the biggest technical issue there is. But yeah, this is Comicus, and I will have this on YouTube at some point in the near future. Otherwise, you can watch it live on twitch.tv//HoarderGamer. Yeah, thank you very much. And if you like it, feel free to follow. If not, I fully understand if you don't want to follow. Thank you. But yeah, that was Comicus. And next week, there'll be another episode based on the books that come out next week. I believe one of those will be one of the new Batman comic books where it's like evil alternate Batman. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I believe the first one of those does come out next week. I forget the name. They all have frightening as hell names. But it's all part of the new Metal DC book. I think that's a great way to end the stream. Metal! Okay, well, I want to thank you all very much. You've been awesome. And I will see you guys hopefully next week. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.